Today we're going to rebuild a ceramic disc quarter turn faucet. Some basic tools needed to repair this valve are a 17mm wrench, a number 2 screwdriver, and various hex keys. The 868 series is rebuilt by removing the stem handle, exposing a 5/64 hex key wrench. It is simply loosened. Do not remove it. Just loosen it a small amount, as you can see here. That'll allow the handle to pull off the valve. Once the handle is removed, that exposes the 17mm hex nut cartridge retainer. A quick note, while rebuilding these valves, you may notice some slight changes in material colors. This is common as the models go through the years. Slight changes are made and the colors will indicate those changes. You notice this is keyed, the 2 pegs there. I also used the blue silicone seal for easier identification. Those line up with the 2 holes in the bottom. As you can see there, it is keyed, so it cannot go in backwards. Also of note, the cartridge opens on one side on some cartridges, on both sides on the others. If it only opens on one side, make sure the open and close portion is down. You'll notice here we simply tighten the cartridge back into place. Do not over tighten. Once you make contact, give it about a quarter turn. Reinsert the handle cover, and again, do not over tighten this hex nut. Also make sure your gap is adequate. There should be just a very small gap. Give that a very slight turn and reinstall the handle stem. This gets hand tied only, and the valve is now rebuilt. You'll notice we turn it a couple times to ensure that the handle and the cartridge move freely without any play, slop, or any binding. The 606 series has a number 2 screw hidden underneath that little cover. The cover is pried off with the thumbnail. If you are unable to get it, a small razor blade will also work. Be careful not to scratch the chrome plating. Now simply remove the number 2 screw, pull the handle off, exposing the cartridge. Once the handle is removed, it looks like the rest of the faucet series. They all share similar components. The 133 series also has that cover hiding a number 2 screw. Underneath the handle of the 522 series is a 1.5mm set screw. Loosen that, do not remove it, and the handle will pull off. That'll allow you to take off the cartridge cover. Now use a 17mm wrench again, remove your retaining nut, and that'll allow the cartridge to be removed and replaced. And as mentioned earlier in the video, different materials are used over the years. This is normal and the parts are interchangeable. Now we're going to move on to the 828 series. Remove the handle, and that will expose a 3mm set screw. Loosen the set screw. This will allow you to remove the cover off of the valve. And again, simply remove the 17mm hex nut and rebuild it as you would the rest of the valves. The 663 series has a small screw inside the handle. Loosen that and pull the handle off of the valve. This will allow you to remove the cover, exposing the 17mm hex nut that retains the cartridge and